It's the 80s Cinema Club.
Hello everyone, I'm coming at the start of the episode to regretfully inform you I'll be stepping down from the 80s Cinema Club after that fucking horrendous intro. Anyway, welcome back, episode 16, I think this is.
16, yes, it 16. Is episode 16.
On Who Framed Roger Rabbit. I'd never heard of this film until Harry planned it for this episode.
Yes, I had heard of it, but like many people through like social medias now of TikToks and things.
All right, really? Like, I've not seen it on TikTok. Equally,
yeah.
I'm not on TikTok. So.
I mean, like, no, it's like a massive trend just when you get
the Who Framed Roger Rabbit trend.
When you get little things popping up, like it comes
all right,
up
fair enough.
But no,
okay,
I knew of its existence.
Yeah, right then. So I've got our plot summary today. Let's see if I can do it in one take.
No.
It's not going to work. So, when private detective Eddie Valiant, played by Bob Hoskins, is hired to investigate a potential affair by Roger Rabbit, who's played by Charles Fleischer, I don't think I said that right, hired by his employer, R.K. Maroon, who's played by Alan Taverne, he discovers some damning evidence, leaving Roger distraught. The next day, Marvin Acme, played by Stubby Kane, the now discovered sugar daddy of Roger Rabbit's wife, who's played by Kathleen Turner, is dead, and all signs point to Roger being the only killer. It's Eddie Valiant's job to then protect Roger from... Roger? Fuck, this has really gone bad. We're going to keep going. From Judge Doom, played by Christopher Lloyd, until he finds out the truth behind the murder.
Whoa.
It makes it sound way more highbrow than it actually is. It's a film with cartoon animals in.
Yeah, you are right. It does make it sound bad.
The budget was approximately $70 million, which is really, really high for the 80s. Probably partly due to the fact you had to pay off Disney and Warner Brothers to allow to have the same animated characters in the frame, which is the first and last time that's happened since.
Yeah, because they wouldn't have it today.
No, far too much money. And it made $351.5 million.
How much?
$351.5 million in the box office.
That's actually really good.
That's a massive profit.
You'd think it would be from a Warner Bros. / Disney film.
But when I watch it, it doesn't. When you watch it and don't know, that's like, how did this make so much more money?
Because of
people's
love for
Eddie Valiant,
still
lovable alcoholic, who's probably quite dodgy actually. Likes and dislikes.
Likes and dislikes indeed. As always, we shall start with the likes. Do you have many likes for this film, Alfie?
Actually, more notes than we had last week on Weird Science. I put that I actually found the mix of live animation and reality was pretty decent for the time.
I was like really impressed.
It was
by it.
I was trying to actively scrutinize it at the start to try and find any like sort of really shoddy cuts, but honestly,
yeah, but you can't.
It's. I mean, there's probably some moments we missed over, but generally, it was like it's not done badly at all. The acting of Bob Hoskins alongside Roger the Rabbit, who isn't surprisingly there.
Yeah, exactly.
It was really well done.
That's the hardest part of some of the, like, especially when it's going to be an animated film like that. Yeah. You can't have it. So it's like in films like E.T., the alien was still there because it was a prop, or a lot of it was a prop. So you can see it. You can actually act to something.
You can act in. Like,
they might have just been like a little piece of cardboard
that would have been hilarious.
They had to like talk to.
Imagine Bob Hoskins carrying a cardboard cutout and just staring at it every time.
Yeah,
that'd be horrendous.
I quite like. I mean, I wonder if this is the bit you didn't like, but just the 4 minutes of Looney Tunes at the beginning. Or like
that at the start, I was like, if
Roger
this is
Rabbit.
the entire film, I'm gonna be so fucking pissed because this looks so boring. And then when it broke it, and I was like, oh man, I like. So
that's
this.
what I mean. I enjoyed the fact that like they showed, because I was like, oh, what's going on here? Because I knew that it was set in like the real world.
Yeah, no, I had no idea.
So like I was like, oh, how are they gonna like spin this? And I would realize that like they were the actors. Yeah. And the baby started going, oh, you need to get your teeth right, Roger. it's
like a broad accent as well.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, it's pretty hilarious.
Yeah, I did. I put like making the animated characters like actors. That's what I mean. Like it makes it like, because most of the animated characters, I guess the ones who live in Toontown, are all like actors, and they're like like
It's a funny way of looking at it, isn't
it? Was it Maroon the one who owned them? I can't remember which one. Created. No.
There
were so many different names.
R.K. Maroon was the owner of Maroon Cartoons.
Oh, okay.
Lovely rhyming there.
Yeah.
And Marvin Acme was the one who.
That's it. It's like
kind of owned Toontown.
Yeah. Which I'm assuming means, did he make it? Because how do you own Toontown?
So it can't
have always been there then?
No, I wouldn't have thought so. It's I also thought it's a really interesting idea for the time. It's a funny way of taking a spin on a murder mystery and making it cartoon characters.
Yeah, apparently it was supposed to be a lot darker than it was. So
Yeah,
the
I don't think
original
that would've
people,
worked.
the original people who wrote it like quite grim,
All right.
like but with animated characters.
Yeah.
because they thought that was really funny, and I would think that was really funny. But then I think Disney and that looked at it and were like, we can't have it that bad.
Yeah, a kid can't see
Because-
Mickey Mouse on the
Do you
poster.
know what
go
the
see him get
original?
mauled.
I think it was a book or
There's
cartoon
quite
or
a
something?
few
Yeah,
books. Yeah.
the original thing, which it apparently has like it's based off that, but also has nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
It's called Who Censored Roger
Yeah,
Rabbit.
that was it.
So it's like
There's like
kind of a
3
bit
as well, isn't
I
there?
know. It's kind of a bit fitting considering
whacked
like
and
they had
someone
to
else
change
as
a
well.
lot of things
Yeah,
to try and
that's
make
true.
it.
Plausible and actually marketable. Yeah, but again, interesting idea for the time. I thought the Toontown scenes were really impressive for the time because the amount of different drawn elements inside
Yeah.
of that one thing, and for all Eddie Valiant doesn't really
Yeah,
perfectly
like
fit
I'll
in.
say, the cartoon characters in Los Angeles look a lot better
Yeah,
than Valiant in Toontown because obviously that's like full on special effects and green screen
Yeah.
of like the entire background, which I mean they do it pretty well for what it is.
honestly,
like
yeah.
when he's holding onto the flagpole at the top and
Yeah,
stuff.
that didn't look too bad.
I also
Obviously.
said that's what I really liked, a lot of the attention to detail the
I
movie
agree, yeah.
gave, which where is it? Where did I put it? Oh yeah, so the attention to detail, especially when Roger goes to the office and Valiant's brother, I can't remember his name, Teddy, his chair hadn't been sat on, and Roger put his hand on it, and there's
Yeah.
a massive dust imprint where his hand's been, and I'm like, that's something you really could have just skimmed over.
Yeah,
But to put to the story, they were like, it has to be dusty because obviously Valiant hasn't wanted to touch it since his brothers died. But then they've made it so that the handprint shows, so then it shows it's dusty.
no one else
I
has
thought
been
it was like a really, you
Yeah,
know,
it
for
was-
this type of film, it was quite that really like small detail to put in.
it was very carefully made. You can definitely see that throughout the whole thing. Like you're saying, the amount of detail that's put into every scene.
Yeah, I think one of my favorite parts of the film was Christopher Lloyd
Yeah,
as Judge Doom. I like
Quite
just
a cool villain, actually.
I mean, Christopher Lloyd, he's amazing. One of like the best actors for films like this. It's just the lines he has and stuff, and the way he like acts them are really good. So when he walks into the bar, he just goes, "I'm looking for a murderer." It's like, really casually as he
And
walks in.
his horrendous white teeth as well.
Yeah, they're not his real teeth. I'm sure they're not his real
I'm
teeth.
presuming it's something to do with the fact that he's spoiler alert here, he's a toon.
Yeah.
And also, the fact this is a toon makes it feel a bit like a slur. I don't know why.
Well, I think that's why they do it. It must
was
be
such a
why
weird
because it's
thing.
like they go, "He's a tune." It's
yeah,
like
derogatory thing.
I think that's because the other thing is saying they're a cartoon.
Yeah.
But I think so saying a tune is like
I do like how throughout the whole film as well it is hinted at that Judge Doom is a cartoon because he never blinks in any of the scenes that you'll see him.
I didn't know.
His eyes are always wide open the whole
Well, I
time.
noticed that when he spills the barrel, whenever a barrel is
He
spilled,
runs.
he like totally like backs away from it. Where technically he doesn't need to because I don't think it's harmful to anyone except the tunes.
In the end, Eddie Valiant runs through it in that factory scene at the end.
Oh yeah, so like so the fact he steps away from, I mean, might just not want to get his shoes like.
Oh yeah,
donkey,
you
but
kind
still.
I think I glossed over that initially because he's in a bar and everyone else backs away as well. But I think that's because he backs into them, pushes them back.
Yeah.
So if he's scared, they were like, "Oh shit."
I think
the guy made this.
quite a standout thing for me with like especially the animation was the car chase.
Yeah, that was quite well done actually.
The animated taxi, and it didn't look like it was animated. Like
No,
it did
looked
kind of
fairly
look
alright.
like it was really happening, and like the backgrounds looked really good.
The meshing of, as we're probably going to say quite a lot here, the meshing of live animation and actual action, it was like, wow, it's really impressive how they did it and made it look so well, not convincing necessarily, but they made it look good. They didn't make it look overly like shit, as we've seen with a few times where they've tried to mix in practical effects. It brings me back to Ghostbusters where we have the dog jumping across the street and it looks fucking horrendous.
Yeah.
Then you have this and it's like, oh, why couldn't you have done something like that?
It's a film that really liked its like one-liners. I say.
Oh yeah.
Not exactly because a lot of them were a bit longer, but it's like when he reveals his brothers died, he was like,
Yep.
"My brother was killed by a tune." Dropped the piano right on his head. It's like what you're talking about.
He walks ominously up the bar.
What's the other? Oh yeah, when he goes to, I think, am I getting this right now? He goes to see Maroon.
Yeah.
To confront him about this plot that he thinks going on, and he goes, "What up, Duck?"
Yeah.
like
Oh, it's
Is it Bugs Bunny?
I will
Bugs
double
Bunny who
check.
says it, isn't it? That's really bad. I'm pretty sure
Yep,
Bugs Bunny says "What up, Duck," and he says it like a bit of a callback.
I'm pretty sure it's Bugs Bunny.
And then the lift scene or elevator, if you're American.
Oh god, yeah.
In Toontown, with the dog just going, "Your floor, son," like,
after he's fallen down from the ceiling.
Yeah. And what was the one? Oh yeah, it's Valiant when I think they try to search Jessica Rabbit and she has a bear trap.
Oh,
she has a bear trap like down her cleavage, and it's just like nice booby trap.
I did like that, I'll be honest. The dumb as hell jokes that randomly came out.
I know.
It just had that like daft slapstick feel to it.
I know, because like the slapstick feel came in with Christopher Lloyd's character when he slipped on the eyeballs. So it's like he was running on them like they do in cartoons, like trying to keep up.
Yeah.
And also when he came in on the zip wire.
Yeah. It was such a silly thing.
Him coming in on the zip wire was just
seeing this guy
it was
in
something
like
else.
Ankle length black trench coat, a hunch, and
he's
black
quite a
fedora.
tall man. Like he's put as very tall in this, and
he's got quite a big stature.
I also put for the biggest crossover in cinematic history.
Literally, it is.
Like the end, like screw Avengers Endgame.
Yeah,
screw Justice League.
Nobody cares about that shit, man.
Look at
the two
look at all the tunes coming together at the end to celebrate.
Yeah. Warner Bros. And Disney all at once. I do also want to say, and I talked to Harry about this once when I was watching it, in one of the end scenes where we get Valiant chasing after Jessica Rabbit, thinking that she's the perpetrator, the one who's caused all this, and Doctor Doom comes up and shoots him from behind. That's sampled in one of my favourite songs, That's That by MF Doom. I was a big fan. It threw me off so much when I heard it, so I was like, I've heard this shit somewhere before. It was great. Honestly, that brought the film up in my estimation.
I didn't know whether I put this in the likes and dislikes section. I literally just wrote the words. Bro gets shot.
Yeah.
The maroon thing.
He got shot so much.
He got shot 3 times in the back. He just kills. I'm like, what is this film? What is happening? What is happening in this film?
It kind of took you out of nowhere, didn't it? That gun barrel was so long as well, by the way.
It was the comedic thing.
It pokes around the fucking curtain, but it looks like it's done, but it keeps going and gets longer. It's like, what's going on? Just telescopic
one
barrel.
Of my favourite things, which I think is really adds to the comedy of it, is a freeway and the downfall of public transport is the villain's main plot.
Yeah. Such a boring
because
idea,
we've got to remember
isn't
this is set in 1947,
Yep.
which is before a lot of the major roads in America were built. I think they were built in like the 50s and 60s, like all the main like we'd call motorways and stuff like that we have here. So his main thing is, I want to build a freeway that all cars can go on and off, and like you can drive
extortionately priced motels and gas
diners
stations
and stuff. And it's like, and the guy's like, that's never gonna happen. Why would people want that?
It is great because the whole film.
It's like why would they want that when they can go on the public transport for a dime? Ah, well, I bought the public transport company so I could stop it.
It's such a dumb motive, but it kind of works at the same time.
What is the motive? I know it's like when he said it, I was like, is this really the motivation we've been leading up to? It's the fact that he wants to build a road.
Only revealed at like the last 10 minutes of the entire film as well.
Yeah, I know. It's like, oh yeah, because I don't have any.
Just something. It's such a strange film, honestly.
I guess if we move on to the dislikes, then one of the main ones for me is this is something Burger's brought up a lot about the film. Who was animating at those studios and was such a creep that decided to animate
Which one is these?
Jessica Rabbit like that?
See,
and I know they make a joke about it, but I just find it so weird.
It is kind of weird, the sexualization of it. It's also kind of bad at the start, when they break character at the beginning. And Baby Herman walks away underneath that woman's skirt and looks up the woman's skirt.
Well,
as he walks
it's
under.
like when he's in the pram and stuff later on. He's like, go get me a thing. What do they call it? What is that thing that they call? It's like not dame. It's what they called them. I can't remember.
I can't remember anymore.
But it's she like slaps him and stuff, and he's like as they move away, and I just.
Baby Herman causing issues.
I mean, I did find Baby Herman smoking really funny.
His baby in a pram smoking a massive cigar.
He's like, I don't think Roger could have been nothing capable of those murders.
No, we go way back, him and Roger.
Yeah, we go way back. And then the fact he starts crying.
Yeah. Oh god. But the drawing of Jessica Rabbit was a bit of a weird choice, I'll be honest.
I know it's because they have a joke with it as well. There's actually a joke where he like lifts his head up and his head hits the. I know because it's supposed to be the comedic factor. It's like she's the most attractive woman possible, going out with Roger Rabbit.
She's a cartoon. She's not real. And you've got these real life
I know,
guys
and
going.
these real life guys looking at him like
Bro,
and then I thought about it. She's not there when they had to film that.
No, they're all staring at thin egg on. It's like the scene as well where
I just thought. I mean, it does show like. I mean, you still get what we call like the male gaze now, which is like
gaze is in sight, not homosexuals.
Yeah, like it's sexualizing women for like gratification of the straight male or lesbian audience.
Yeah.
But they didn't really think of lesbians back then. Sorry. But it's like the scene where he leaves his office and there's the woman bent over in the pram and it just like lingers.
Yeah.
Like that's what it is. It's like, you know, and then there's Baby Herman in the pram.
What is he doing? Baby Herman.
I also put like down because that film's a PG.
Yeah, how did they get over PG?
And I didn't look at if it was rated any different when it came out.
Yeah.
But how? And the reference I put down here was pat a cake.
Yeah.
Because
that does not sound
I know like parent and guardian, that's what it means.
Yeah.
It means you should watch this and it's their discretion that you should watch this. But still, a PG basically means this is like, you know, a kid's film. Like, you know, you should... But that scene...
Yeah.
And the film has some weird... That's the other thing. I kept battling with myself whether I liked the film in a way of its tone or not.
It's very strange, isn't it?
I liked it because of how stupid it was.
Yeah.
And like how silly it was in this murder mystery cartoon vibe.
Yeah.
But then I also was like, this just doesn't work sometimes.
Yeah.
Because they make it like too grown up. Like, because it's a family movie, so it's like it has the tones of both things.
I agree.
But it takes it a bit like, because obviously if you're watching that as a kid and you're hearing this pie cake thing, you're not thinking anything of it. But if you're an adult, you're thinking that's just like the innuendo for something.
Yeah.
And then he looks in the window and it's like they were playing pie cake and they actually were.
They were actually playing
But that's
pie
like
cake.
the massive, like, you know, another wife can't play pie cake with another man.
Yeah, Roger Rabbit sat there crying his eyes out about the fact you played
I don't
pie
know,
cake with someone
like,
else.
we said this about a lot of films and doesn't mean you shouldn't watch them, it doesn't mean kids can't watch them. I just think sometimes the tone messes up a bit too much.
Yeah.
Because you need to have themes where it's like an adult theme. But I seem that, I mean, it's 80s as well, remember? Like, films you get now don't really tend to do that because they want to really stay clear of any sort of controversy to do with that. But I just think it like bounces too much. And another thing I said, which I really liked this scene because I found it really funny, but as a child would be genuinely traumatizing.
Yeah.
Was the judge just murdered a toon at the scene? How did he do that? Like, because obviously, like, he burns them to death.
Oh, yeah.
In the toon killer thing.
Yep.
And he pulls his hand out and it's full of blood.
Yeah.
Like, toons, right. Do toons have human rights?
No.
Because they treat them like people, right? You know,
Yeah.
technically.
I guess
because,
in
you
a
know,
way.
they work and they have their own town and they can buy drinks and they can do all of this stuff. But he picked up a totally innocent toon shoe and just burnt it to death.
Yeah. I don't... Judge Doom has some particular thing within Toontown. I remember hearing about it. But again, if you think about it, Toontown's there to keep the toons in one area.
I know. It is a bit of like segregation.
Like, ooh.
But it's like... I don't know. It was just... That was another thing I thought I really liked it. Well, I thought it was one of the most horrific deaths I think I've ever seen in a film. Because
the shoe getting burned.
The shoe getting burnt to death.
Yeah,
but it's like...
It's a bit weird.
Really... Like, I watched it, I was like... You realise someone's just been murdered and you've just killed someone at the scene of the crime.
This toon's just been murdered and he's like, no, it's alright.
I thought it was a bit of lazy writing. I don't know, it's an animated film.
Yeah.
When the guy's will was in his pocket. Like you could see it in the photo.
You could see it in the photo.
Literally, the top of it's in his breast pocket.
Yeah, it says
and
something
the top
about
of the thing
will.
it says, "My last will and testimony" or something. You just wouldn't.
Yeah, it's a bit strange. A lot of it, like I said, it's a kids' film. It's a fact and point. It is a kids' film, but it's
the thing that points out
mature.
is we look at these like kids' films and they're like family films, aren't they? Which is a kids' film, but I don't know. It's weird, isn't it?
I think this is just what kids' films are in general.
You look at it and you think that's for kids.
Yeah.
But people look at South Park and think that's for kids until they actually watch it, just because it's animated.
Yeah, I'd probably make the argument that it's the content that's a big difference.
Yeah, exactly.
We
obviously.
don't have rampant racism in Roger Rabbit.
No,
funny.
but I mean, like when people look at things that are cartoons,
Yeah,
your
you assume
brain
it.
tends to go to this is for kids, not like adult animation, which that is.
Yeah.
But I don't know. This
To be
one
fair,
seems
even
to,
with
like,
this, I would probably say that it is still a kids' film. You've got that.
Yeah.
It's like a lot of, like you're saying, good kids' films where you've got that
yeah,
balance
I guess the
between
Looney
an
Tunes
adult
and
and a
stuff
kid enjoying it.
were made for kids.
Yeah.
So then putting them back together is that.
It definitely was marketed at kids and had the more mature things to keep the adults more, I guess,
Yeah.
probably still a bit engaged in the film, so they don't just switch off immediately.
Things like that did cause a bit of a problem for me was for some reason like the Los Angeles. I know it's 1947 Los Angeles, but it just feels empty because I know it's like it's probably
there wasn't much
set,
there at all, was there?
but it just I don't know. There was just something about it. Like you only saw people when they wanted you to see people. So like every time he was outside, you'd think it would be like pretty big streets and stuff, and it just doesn't feel like anything's going on. Especially with the plot, right? And I get it's supposed to be dumb.
Yeah.
I forgot everyone's names like halfway through the film when they kept going like Maroon is thingy this and then like I was like, where is this going?
There is a lot of names.
Because the Valiant changed his mind on what was happening about 4 times in the film, and that's obviously because he found like new evidence, but it wasn't made clear to me very thing to that was what was happening.
Definitely wasn't concretely built upon. It washed around quite a lot again, which is why I feel it was more marketed because kids aren't gonna worry about the story going around that much.
I also put so we talked about how the animation was really good in this film.
Yeah.
Christopher Lloyd's animation as a toon.
Oh yeah, no.
Like one of the scariest pictures. What was that?
It was really strange. That was probably the one thing I was like, yeah, this is just a bit weird.
Yeah.
I would have preferred they fully animated Christopher Lloyd than just making him have.
Yeah, like he got squished, which was also terrifying because he genuinely got like crushed.
Oh yeah, he got pancaked.
Yeah,
I thought his head was going to pop.
I know exactly that's
what
what I mean. You saw his head getting crushed, but obviously, if you find out he's a toon, so he can't.
He
can't die like that.
he reinflates himself.
I know, but I thought, why can't you just reinflate him and he'd be animated? So much nicer.
That would have been pretty cool. But again,
instead of just giving him an animated face that, like, eyes really, that looks awful.
And an animated massive hammer thing.
But these, to be honest, they do like affect it minorly. And
Yeah,
when I watched it, I still really enjoyed it, and people will too. It's just you got to nitpick for the things that kind of be like, really?
Yeah.
Does that really happen?
For such a big budget thing as well.
Yeah.
You know? This isn't like it's not a small indie production like people raise the Titanic, but we kind of loved it for how shit it was because it was such a bad film. This is something that had such a massive budget and was going to succeed anyway. So the little nitpicky bits are a bit like, it could have been changed just for a slight difference. But it doesn't.
And I think it comes from them not wanting to write such a dark story.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But also them not like being able to write a murder mystery.
Yeah, you're kind of limited
with it. It's like you're trying to like do this grounded, mean, tough guy.
Yeah.
And then you want to put all these comedy aspects in, but then you also then have someone getting burnt alive. And yes, it isn't an actual person.
Yeah.
But it's still like horrific.
Oh,
and
to a kid, it would still be pretty bad.
What is going on here?
Yeah. Cements Judge Doom as a really wrong guy.
Yeah, and his character was probably one of the best, and he portrayed it really well. It was just a bit weird, really.
I get what you mean. The contrast kind of got lost at some points. Although I do think the contrast between Roger Rabbit and Eddie Valiant worked fairly well.
Yeah, like the tough guy, and then always wanting to be funny because he's a toon person.
Yeah.
Really, and then like obviously him lightening up and stuff.
God,
that worked really well.
The musical scene at the end of it.
Oh,
as
the
well.
dance where he has to was it kill them with laughter?
Yeah, they're dying of laughter.
Dying of laughter.
Oh,
that's
God.
it.
It's so stupid.
So, I don't have anything else to say. Do you have?
No, I think that's about sums it up for me. Time for ratings, I guess.
Okay, Alfie. What did you rate Roger Rabbit from 1988?
So, as anyone who might listen to the last episode, I was much more engaged with this discussion because I paid more attention and enjoyed this more surprisingly, despite my initial sort of not liking how it started. But I've given it a pretty decent 6.5.
6.5. Okay, it's not too bad. Because I've given it exactly the same score, I've also given it a 6.5 because I thought, I don't know, it was a good film. I enjoyed watching it a lot more than I thought I would. I just thought it really needed to find out what it wanted to do sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
And because I enjoyed it, but I think I enjoyed it because I thought it was really dumb.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's what people will enjoy it for, but it wasn't like top standard comedy of like...
Oh, God, no, it wasn't.
You know,
I don't think it could ever be a really highly rated film. For like 6.5 is just sort of...
Yeah, it's like better than the midpoint. It's not bad.
Yeah.
But it's not like really good.
You can never approach masterpiece territory with that sort of thing.
Exactly.
Now it's time for the questions section.
Which we fail at.
Yeah.
Every week.
Last week was the
was
first
rough.
time I think we've gone 0-0. And it was kind of demoralising, I'll be honest. I need to get my game back up.
Like, I thought we were going to be pretty good at these, you know. Like, I thought we're going to watch the film. We're going to then do the podcast, and we're just going to be like, we'll get some wrong. No, it's just literally every week I pretty much get none right.
I think once we hit a regular schedule of filming 3-3-3, we'll be able to sort of more in-depth look at the film.
I don't think that's ever going to happen.
To be fair, us two kind of watch these films. I think you watched, Roger Rabbit last night?
Because I think I don't rush watch them, but it tends to end up like that.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to watch them like the week before, because then I will forget everything that's happened.
Mm-hmm.
But then it ends up me watching it like one the night before, and then one the day of we record it, because it's like me trying to remember it, but then there's always something else happening.
Really, isn't it then?
Yeah.
Right, anyway then. On to the first question from me.
Oh.
So the end fight scene, if you can call it that, takes place in the Acme factory within Toontown. So, within the factory, there's lots and lots of storage boxes shown throughout the final scene. Which of these wasn't a product within one of the store boxes?
I might get this, actually.
Itching powder.
Yeah.
Squirt flowers.
Yeah.
Eyeballs.
Yeah.
Head wigs.
Yeah.
Clown shoes.
Okay, there's a lot here.
Or banana skins.
Only one of them is...
Only one of them is fake.
That's a lot of options.
There's a lot.
Right, read them again.
Itching powder.
Uh-huh.
Squirt flowers.
Yeah.
Eyeballs.
Yeah.
Clown shoes.
Yeah.
Head wigs.
Yeah.
Or banana skins.
I don't know, actually. I thought I would know it, but off all of those... I know some of them are definitely there, like eyeballs and stuff.
Yeah, because eyeballs kind of is key to the whole thing, isn't it?
I think head wigs.
No, it's squirt flowers.
Really? I thought skirt flowers would have been, like, definitely there.
That's why I made that up, because I was like, that's more likely not to be there.
Damn, okay. So that's first.
But I love how they
me.
specify head wigs.
Yeah.
That's the one thing that I thought might have tripped you up, because where else would you get a wig for?
Yeah. Okay. What was the club Jessica Rabbit performed at called? You're going to know this, I know.
Back to it, the Ink and Paint Club.
Yep, it is the Ink and Paint Club.
Oh.
See, I thought it was a 50-50 with that. You're either going to have looked it up and, like, know it, or you're just not going to.
Yeah.
Like you're going to be totally stumped for
I
it.
thought you were either going to ask me that one, or about the bar that I forget her name, his girlfriend works at.
Yeah, no, I thought about doing that, but I thought that's really too, because it shows you it loads.
It's like it's such a long name as well, from what I remember.
It's the it's to do with train stations or something.
I've got it in my notes here, 1 second. The Pacific Red Electric Car Terminal Bar. I don't know why it's quite that long.
Yeah, I think they just call it the Terminal Bar for short, but it is basically that.
Right.
Yeah.
So as we talked about, Judge Doom's dip, as he calls it, which is such a funny name for it, is used quite a few times throughout the film as a way to kill off the toons effectively. So he does tell us what the contents of his infamous dip are. So can you tell me what his dip's made of?
I can't tell you all of it. I have to tell you all of it. I know
if you can get a few.
I know it's made with turpentine.
Okay, if you can get one more of the ingredients, I'll give you it. There's 3, by the way, so it's...
The only one I literally looked at the ingredients yesterday and I remembered turpentine. I didn't think you'd ask me. I thought, is it like glycosal acid or something? There's something I don't know.
Pulled that out your ass.
No, but it's like there's some sort of acid. I think it said was in there.
Okay, so if you have an official like final 2 things to guess, then let me know.
Okay, I'll just give it a guess. Carbon dioxide.
Turpentine and carbon dioxide. Is that your final answer?
Turpentine. Well, that's definitely one.
Turpentine is definitely one. I will give you that.
Toxic waste and bicarbonate of sulfate.
It's turpentine, acetone, and benzene. Which is actually
benzene,
a funny thing, is that this is commonly used to remove ink from drawing cells. So it's kind of an inside joke that it would actually kill a toon, because it removes the ink.
I don't know why I looked at this, and I looked at it last night, I think, and I remembered turpentine's just stuck in my brain, but not the others.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't think you'll get this one unless you can definitely remember
I'm not sure.
specific things.
Okay.
How many people did Roger have to ask to find out where Eddie lived?
I wish I'd remembered this now. There was quite a few. Basically, the whole neighbourhood knows you're here, was what he said.
See, I don't know if I would have got this, because
I'm going to say there's like 5.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah.
It's 6.
Oof. That's
because
alright.
I can't remember the exact line, but it's like, I asked the painter.
Yeah.
He didn't know, so I asked the butcher. He didn't know, so I asked the baker. So he
gardener,
didn't know.
there's
So I asked
lots
the
of
gardener thingy, and then I asked the liquor store owner.
Yeah,
and
who
he
knows
knew
you,
it.
yeah.
That's the last bit.
Oh.
Okay.
That's all right.
This is the last question for me, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
So there was quite a few versions of the script as we talked about. So who in a previous version of the script was planned to be the main villain?
Oh.
I don't know if you heard that. Something happened upstairs. We'll move on.
There may have been a bang.
The famous Baby Herman, Teddy Valiant, Marvin Acme, or R.K. Maroon? Which one was planned to be a villain?
R.K. Maroon.
R.K. Maroon?
Yeah.
It was Baby Herman. In previous
Not
versions
doing
of the
very
script,
well. Is that not for me?
either Baby Herman or Jessica Rabbit were planned to be the main villain.
I thought Jessica Rabbit might have been planned to be the main villain, but
that's
you
why
didn't say
I
that.
didn't put Jessica Rabbit, because I was like, that's pretty obvious.
Yeah, I probably would have said that. I wouldn't have guessed the baby, like.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I mean, it does make sense
It
because it's
does,
quite a
doesn't it?
comedic villain to have,
Yeah.
like when he turns around in his chair stroking his cat.
Yeah.
It's like
The
it's
camera
baby-
pans down to show Baby
Yeah,
Herman.
exactly. The chair turns around, you can't see anyone, so it pans down and there's the baby with his cigar.
That would be the that'd be the post-credit scene if it was made.
Yeah, that's true.
You'd
Right,
have-
your
you'd
last
have-
question, which I don't think you'll get.
All right,
But,
I'm not sure. Well,
I mean,
if you're
you're gonna get 1 point,
I mean,
and I'm gonna get none.
we're
if you
moving
get
up.
this.
We're moving up.
What Frank Sinatra song does the singing
Oh.
sword perform when Eddie is trying to fight Judge Doom?
I thought about making one of my questions: who voices the singing sword?
Yeah, I knew it was Frank Sinatra. And
Yeah, I
listened
knew that
to it.
from hearing it.
I
But
didn't know the song until I looked it up.
Oh God, it's none that I've heard from. So I'm gonna have to. I couldn't tell you.
He says the name of the song, and that is Witchcraft.
Yeah, no, I would never have gotten that.
I knew it was Frank Sinatra as soon as the song started singing.
Yeah, but it even looks
Sword.
like him, doesn't it?
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. But I looked up the song name. Just
Oh
for
yeah,
that.
I should have checked that. Anyway, that's
God.
1 point to me.
Yeah, this
We're
is.
moving up. the lead is getting ever larger.
Messages, tell us how many you got this
Yeah,
week.
that'd be good to know. Actually,
Yeah, we can have another scores because
I can keep
people
stalking.
must-
I can keep track of the viewers.
No
scores.
Google. No Google.
No Google. That's not very fun.
So how relevant is it then? Before we...
Again, it's kind of a hard one. I don't think it's particularly relevant in terms
I
of
don't
watching
know.
it. I'd say, yeah.
It gets harder and harder sometimes with these films because
yeah.
when they don't have like a big existential meaning,
Yeah.
it's like there's not much you can really say about it. Although the fact it's like
It's
if you
fun.
like Looney Tunes
Oh yeah.
or even Disney characters, it's like one of my favorite bits is the same. It's the first time you see rivals Bugs Bunny and Mickey Mouse on screen together because they were like the two big like animation things like battling for like the big characters.
Yeah.
What do they call
The
them?
figureheads almost.
Figureheads, yeah, figurehead characters like the poster childs.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
I
you
found
know,
out something quite funny about that. There was actually the reason they're shown in tandem, like Mickey Mouse, Bugs Bunny, Donald Duck, Daffy Duck, Porky Pig, and Tinkerbell,
yeah,
is because there was an explicit clause that the two Warner Brothers and Disney characters had to have the same screen time.
okay.
You couldn't have like one higher than the other because they're both,
Yeah, he's like that's all, folks, and
Yeah.
then Tinkerbell flicks it away.
Exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
I get
quite
that.
funny that thing. But yeah,
No, I think if you want like, it's a good thing in animation for what it is for the time.
I would agree.
And it is quite funny.
And it does, to a degree, stand up now, I'd say.
Oh
Not-
yeah,
not
I don't
compared
think
to
you
stuff
could
now.
do because now it would be like I
Not
think you'd
CGI.
really be able to see how CGI'd it was
Yeah.
if it was done today, especially if it wasn't on a really big budget.
Oh, God,
like
no.
if anybody's watched the new live action Little Mermaid, right?
Oh,
They went for like hyper realistic, like on the crab and
Okay.
like so Sebastian the crab, I think, but like just doesn't look good at all. It looks scary because it's just a crab talking. It's like in the
Oh.
animated version, it's
Yeah.
like you know
No, I've
he's
seen
fun.
this now.
He's like got movement. You know,
Yeah.
If you look at the one from the Little Mermaid, it's just a crab and it's
It
the
is
scariest
just a
thing
crab.
ever.
Why
It's like he sings under the sea looking like that.
It's just a crab.
I'm sorry you can't see this and look it up, but
What on earth? That's so weird.
yeah.
Right.
No, it's a good film to watch if you've got some downtime.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'd recommend
you should
it.
watch every film we do, to be honest.
Oh, Res Titanic, especially. That's very key at the moment if you listen to this, because
Oh,
this will come out 2 weeks after it's probably all over.
yeah.
So you'll know whether they
at the
died
time
or
of
not.
recording this, sadly, a submarine has gone missing.
Sadly,
Near...
there are a bunch of billionaires who
No,
decided
but
to
they could still die, Alfie.
down with the 1%.
Oh Christ!
I'm not supporting the Tory agenda on the 80 Cinema Club.
They're not. Oh. Oh god.
To be fair, it relates to Rise of the Titanic.
I was gonna go pretty thoughtful on it.
They are still people at the end of there, but again, they paid £250,000 to go down this submarine that's used by an Xbox controller.
Okay. Well, this was a morbid end to this section.
It's a murder mystery film.
True that.
Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Doom.
Technically,
I mean, there's a lot of people leading up to that.
there is 3 different in between.
So we've answered your question then, film.
We did, yeah.
That's it.
We should just leave it there.
We should just leave it there.
That's that.
No plugs, no nothing.
No plugs.
No,
So-
it was a decent film, to be honest.
It definitely was.
Um,
Enjoyable.
yeah, hopefully, I'm going to say hopefully that last time, because last time I said this, it fell through.
Oh yeah, it did.
Hopefully next week, we should
have.
be doing Goonies with another guest.
I wonder who this will be.
Yeah,
We'll leave it a mystery.
we'll leave it a mystery. Hopefully that'll be happening. We want it to happen.
We want it. They've
So
left us on red though so far.
yeah, I tried
Answer
to
back
confirm
if
another
you
date with
if you
them
listen
because
to
some
this.
things came up and they've
Yeah.
left us on red.
Fantastic.
So,
Anyways,
we'll have to talk to them.
we will.
But
So-
so the usual plugs then. You can follow us on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and Facebook.
That's the normal.
We didn't say where you can listen to this last time.
We did it, but if you're listening to it, you know where to
you
find
know
it.
where to find it, which is Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Good Pods, Google Podcasts, and I have found out there is loads of third-party ones you can find us on.
Podbean.
Yeah, Podbean's one. There's literally one that I think just was called Podcast Listener.
Oh, fair
And if you
enough.
just search us up on it, it's on there. But I think that like piggybacks up everything else anyway. But I mean, if you're listening to us on that, then sure.
There is probably more than we know of, honestly, in terms of places you
There
can
will
find
be a
us right
place you
now.
can watch us, but not officially set up by us technically.
Yeah. They're like branched out through Spotify
We mentioned this last
podcasters.
time. We do have an email you can reach
do,
us at
yes.
if you would like to
Send us your funny 80s memes.
send us your funny 80s
I sent
meme.
Harry one the other day about the thing. It was quite funny.
Yeah, that is 80scinemaclub@gmail.com. What was that one you sent me about the thing? Wasn't it about some pizza?
It was about me, I think it was.
Or if anybody's played on the Nintendo Wii, you used to be able to create them me characters. That's what it's from.
It's the scene from the thing where the guy's stomach erupts and the thing comes out with his head and it's sticking to the ceiling. So
Yeah.
the me character I created is a child named Farthead being released onto the movie plaza.
That probably doesn't
Funny
sound
name.
as funny when we
It
talk
definitely
about
isn't, but if
But,
Harry,
you know.
Harry should share it on the story. No, don't do
yeah,
that.
sure. I'll share it on the 80s Cinema Club story.
Anyway, it's been another fantastic episode of Colin.
And we will see you
Full of messing
next
up words
time.
there.
Goodbye.
It's goodbye from me.